Here's our test plan, and if this was an assessment, what you'd be doing is you'd be testing, and you'll almost certainly find some bugs. Here we can see that if the computer gets to 13, the game ends, which isn't what we want. To fix this, we need to edit our looping condition so that it's less than or equal to 13 rather than less than. And then if the user does have a score of 13, we want to set things so that they're not asked if they want to roll again. This means that we need to add a little bit of additional code to set user pass to yes if the user has 13 points, and we can then create the screenshot showing that the game works successfully. If you've been following exactly, this means that you'll need to change your while loop so that it is less than or equal to 13. And you'll also need to add in an additional if statement to check if the user has 13 points or not. Please test your code, and once it's working, remember to commit it to GitHub. Our next step is to create a statistics component, and here's the test plan that I'll be using. If your test plan needs you to do some mathematics, a great option is to create a spreadsheet. And this then means that you can put in your test data, and for the expected values, you can use formulae. So in this case, we've used formulae to find the lowest, highest, and average scores. Another great thing about spreadsheets is that you can add additional tabs for additional test plans and have all your testing in one place. For the stats component, I've created a new file called component8stats, and I've put in some comments to help guide us in what we need to do. We can create empty lists calling one user scores and one computer scores. For testing purposes, we're going to ask the user to enter a score for the user and the computer, and we're going to assume that they put in a valid integer. We can add both the user score and the computer score into the lists we've made by saying the list name, .append, and the variable. So that's what your code should look like. Please note the updated comment. The easiest way to find the lowest and highest number in our lists is outside the loop. We want to go ahead and sort them. And to do that, we use the sort method, so userscores.sort and computerscores.sort. And of course, we want to see if this worked. So we can put in two quick print statements. And as you can see, this worked as expected. I've used the numbers from my test plan, and I've entered them, and they're not in order, yet when I print out my lists, they've been sorted from lowest to highest. And here's some code that we can use to find the lowest score, which is going to be the first item in the list, the highest score, which is going to be the last item in the list, and the average, which is where we add everything in the list and divide by the length of the list. And of course, to check that this works, we need to print out the values. And this is giving the expected result, and it matches my test plan for the user. As this video is getting a little bit long, we're going to continue this process in the next video.